Hey everybody, I want to talk to you about Endoflex and Endoflex Vitality Oils. These are oils that I always have in my order. Of course, I don't run through them super quickly because a little bit goes a long way, but these are oils that every day when I get out of the shower, this is what I'm using. I'm actually using this bottle and not necessarily this bottle because it's more bang for your buck, but let's just quick go through why the labels are different. Anything with a white label on it is called Vitality, and that is nothing more than a labeling requirement for the Food and Drug Administration so that you know from across the room that this oil is safe for ingestion. There is absolutely zero difference between the white label bottle and the color label bottle other than the size, and this one actually you get a little bit more for your money than you do in the small one. And so when I talk about the small one, we're going to talk about ingestion, and when we talk about the color one, we're going to talk about topical and aromatic, but there is no difference between the two. It is simply a labeling, and there's a smaller size for your convenience. So let's talk about Endoflex. Like I said, every day I get out of the shower. Actually, I just ordered this bottle. Normally you would see a black cap on there because I put a roller ball on here and I roll it onto myself after I've gotten out of the shower, and I put it down here. We can't really see where I'm pointing to, where my liver would be. So let's talk about what this oil does. First of all, when you open up the lid, you're going to discover it has a very, very interesting aroma. That the nutmeg is probably going to hit you first, and then a little bit of spearmint. And then, of course, there's several other oils in there. We've got spearmint, sage, geranium, myrtle, nutmeg, and German chamomile. And I'm going to quickly go through why these oils are in here, but I have a lot to pack into this video, so let's talk about what Endoflex actually does. This is an incredible oil for supporting our endocrine system and our liver and kidneys, which of course are our filtration organs of our body. Very, very, very important to support your filtering organs. Okay, one of the reasons that we want to lead a toxin-free lifestyle is because we know that the more toxins and chemicals and things that we take into our body and put onto our body, the more that those organs have to work overtime to try to filter and process them out. And so we're going to try to give our body the best support that we can in doing that job. So not only do you want to eliminate toxins, coming into your body from the outside, but you also want to give it the support that it needs to strengthen and rejuvenate that organ to keep it doing a good job for us. So let's talk about the endocrine system and what Endoflex can do for you, okay? So I have my notes here I'm going to refer to so I don't miss anything, but it's specifically formulated, first of all, with a very high frequency of 138 megahertz. Okay, so that puts it on the emotional/spiritual plane as far as the frequency of essential oils. I do other talks on frequency and what that actually means. What you need to know is, because we're working with the endocrine system, what does that system do? It regulates everything in our body. It sends all the hormone chemical messengers everywhere in our body that instructs our cells what to do. But specifically, it affects our mood, it affects our outlook on life, it affects how we sleep, it affects how we feel, right? It's our hormone system. So, and we all know that when our hormones are out of whack, our whole perspective can be out of whack. So we're going to talk real quick about some of the glands that these oils help to support, because we want to give, again, our detox system and our endocrine system the best fighting chance of giving us the best stability possible in the onslaught of, stress in life and toxins and all that kind of stuff. So these oils are going to help the pineal gland, which I may be saying improperly, but this is a little pea-sized gland in the brain that does secrete hormones into your body. Somewhere up in here, it's right here. This one's called the third eye, and I actually have another talk on why it's called the third eye, but I'm sure heard that term. Well, it's a tiny little pea-sized organ that secretes hormones, specifically regulates melatonin, and if you know anything about melatonin, you know that is the thing that's going to have you a good night's sleep, and as we age, our melatonin levels decrease, so we want to support that gland as much as possible so it's working at its optimal capacity, because when we're lying awake at night and our brain is churning and we can't fall asleep and our body's not producing that melatonin, it's really, really frustrating, and it of course alters and affects your mood and your ability to function, your cognitive thinking, all that kind of stuff, the next day. So we want to support the pineal gland, or the third eye. The pituitary gland, I'm sure you've heard that one, another pea-sized organ in the brain that also secretes chemicals, hormones into the bloodstream, particularly hormones that support and control the thyroid. And if you know anything about the thyroid, you basically know that the thyroid does everything If you don't have a thyroid, you don't have anything. So we want to make sure that we're supporting the pituitary gland. Then there's the parathyroid, 4 tiny little glands that are in our neck that control our body's calcium levels and PTH. Okay, that's basically just a hormone that goes and basically tells our bones to secrete calcium into the bloodstream, which we need. And I do a whole entire talk on bone resorption and calcium supply levels and all that such, so you can go and catch it if you watch some of those other science videos that I have. And then last of all, the thymus. It's a lymphoid organ in the neck of the vertebrae, which actually produces T cells for the immune system. So again, immune support. So all of these little glands, even though they're tiny, have incredible, powerful impact on our balance, our health, our well-being, our moods, our emotions, our sleep, whether or not we get calcium in our body. Hormones are the chemical messengers that do everything in our body. So we want to give all these glands their best foot forward so they can optimally function. And then, of course, we have the adrenal glands. I'm sure you've all heard of those. You've probably heard them in the context where somebody's telling you that your adrenals are shot. That means that you have lived at this high stress level for a really long time and your adrenals are just working overtime. Those are located at the top of each kidney. Again, you can't see to where I'm pointing, right? Kind of, you know, it's actually in your back, right underneath your rib cage, lower down. But the adrenal glands produce the hormones that help the body control your blood sugar, burn protein and fat. So again, when you're super stressed, you're going to be holding on to that fat and weight gain because you're not producing the hormones that you need to keep you at a healthy level. They react to stressors like major illnesses, injuries. They regulate the blood pressure. They pretty much do everything. Those are the things that are going to fire with your fight or flight response. So we want to support our adrenals for sure. So when I use this oil, I put a roller ball on it and I roll it kind of right under here is going to be your liver, and then right on the back in the same area, but just on the back side of you, are your kidneys. And I just do a roller ball on each. You don't need to add a carrier oil because it already has a carrier oil in it. Yes, sesame seed, okay, I had to verify. And so you don't need to worry about dilution. And again, with the Endoflex, you can put it in a gel cap and you can swallow it down. You can add a swish into your water, put it in your Ningxia Red. It actually tastes delicious. Again, the nutmeg, spearmint, there's some other oils in there also. And so you can definitely ingest it as well if you have the vitality, or apply it topically. So real quick, the oils that are in it. We have spearmint, which helps to balance the body and increase your metabolism. Who doesn't love that? Burns up fats and toxins in the body. So again, we're talking about the liver and the kidneys, which are detoxing organs. We want to support those as well. Sage helps improve the estrogen, testosterone, progesterone balance. So again, hormone help in the body. And geranium helps also with hormonal balance. It's a mood elevator and an uplifter. And it also works with liver and kidney function, helping to detox it, and specifically to help detox things like anger and fear, which we know now are actually chemicals that are stored in, guess where? Our filtration organs, right? When we have anger and fear, our body is creating chemicals that are negatively impacting our cells. And so, of course, our body sees those chemicals, says, hey, those are toxic. And what is the organ that filters out the toxins? The livers and the kidneys, so go figure. Okay, so we've got geranium in here. Myrtle helps to regulate your thyroid function. We talked about thyroid. It's very mood elevating, it's very euphoric. So again, used to soothe anger, which, as we know, is a toxin in the body. So nutmeg has an adrenal cortex-like activity, which is really cool. So nutmeg is amazing for your adrenals, and it really helps support your adrenals to help give you increased energy. Because again, when things are off balance, we feel lethargic, we feel depressed, we feel like we don't want to do anything, we just feel like we want to sleep all the time. Same thing when your adrenals are shot, when your thyroid is out of whack, when your hormones are out of balance, you're not going to feel like yourself. In fact, you may not feel like doing a whole lot of anything. So nutmeg has been used also for centuries to support healthy kidneys and to treat imbalances in the nervous cells and in the endocrine system. So nutmeg is a super powerful oil for that. And last of all, we have German chamomile. I'm about to run out of time. Found to open the liver, increase the liver function and secretion, cleanse the blood, support the pancreas, and dispel anger and stabilize your emotions. If you've ever smelled German chamomile, you know that is true because it's got this beautiful beautiful, wonderful, earthy fragrance that just grounds you and just kind of whisks all your worries away. So there's your Endoflex in a nutshell. Again, you've got the vitality for ingestion, you've got the colored label for topical aromatic. Diffuse, put it on your body, get it in your body, whatever you want to do. You want to be supporting your endocrine system and supporting your detoxifying organs.